Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another stream. I thought I was building roller coaster in my vanilla world. Yes, I am avoiding these movies. I'm avoiding the Galacticraft world. Yes, do it. It's a great skill city. Because skill city is everything. Thinking of making those videos months, those streams rather. Let's go.
As of now, it's very hard to qualify for Medicaid as an adult in Missouri. Single adults aren't eligible for coverage at all. That was all set to change on July 1st, thanks to a constitutional amendment voters approved last summer, making Missouri the 38th state to expand Medicaid coverage through the Affordable Care Act. Single adults would be covered if they make under $18,000 or so. As many as 275,000 Missourians could get coverage if there's funding for the program. But if some lawmakers here have their way, there won't be.
Medicaid expansion is wrong for Missouri. I think it's wrong for the state budget.
That's Republican State Representative Cody Smith, who heads the House Budget Committee. In early March, Smith stripped funding for Medicaid expansion out of the annual budget, saying it's too expensive. That, despite the fact the federal government pays 90% of the cost of expanded coverage.
The federal government has no money. There was only taxpayer dollars. They are federal deficit spending at a rate that's unprecedented at this point, and we stand in precedence.
Democrats argue that Republicans are pushing ideology over the will of the people, who overwhelmingly voted to expand the program. Some Republicans contend the rural districts they represent voted against the measure. Others think voters were misled. Here's Republican Representative John Simmons.
We're not a democracy. I hate the term when we say we're a democracy. We are a constitutional representative republic. People voted us in November 2.
But the ballot language was approved by the Republican Secretary of State, who successfully defended it against two court challenges. Democrats contend the legislature is now required to fund expansion because it's in the Constitution.
We are playing games with people's lives and with our state economy.
That's Peter Meredith, the ranking Democrat on the House Budget Committee. He says Republican legislators are wrong to oppose expansion and wrong to leave money on the table.
Ideology is driving the opposition, has been all along. Even if we didn't have a surplus right now of dollars, we've seen in every other state that's expanded, they've actually had cost savings in state and revenue increase.
As part of the American Rescue Plan President Joe Biden signed into law last month, Washington will pitch in an extra 5% of costs for states that expand Medicaid. For Missouri, that could amount to $1 billion over the next 2 years. That's pushed other GOP-controlled states to consider expanding Medicaid as well. And Missouri's Republican Governor Mike Parson included expansion funding in his proposed budget.
There'll be challenges. There's no question about that. If it's not funded, there'll be challenges to that. I think we all know that. So we just have to see how it plays out.
James Layton is a former Solicitor General for the state of Missouri. He says if the state can't cover everyone eligible or can't reimburse hospitals at the end of the year, it will likely face a legal backlash.
If the top doesn't give them whatever it is they need to be able to go to the doctor and say, I'm on Medicaid, then that would be a lawsuit. It also could be that the federal government could take action to disqualify the state from participating in Medicaid because it didn't fulfill its obligations under Medicaid.
Now, the budget heads to the state Senate, where Republicans are split over what to do. While some have said they support including expansion funding, others are still speaking out against it. For NPR News, I'm Sebastian Martinez by Media.
Grab these.
So listening to all things considered from NPR News.
We're live from Oakland under Washington's NPR News station WAMU 88.5 Evening. I'm Jonathan Wilson. Coming up next hour on All Things Considered, the Minneapolis police chief testified today about the way his officers used force against George Floyd. That there were no issues or anything that is by policy. It's not part of the training. It is certainly not part of our ethics or our values. We'll have the latest from the Derek Chauvin murder trial. That's in about 15 minutes here.
So this will pretty much an
The
issue.
trachea is basically just a tube inside of your throat, but doctors say replacing one can be complicated.
Turns out it's a highly complex organ system.
Attempts to surgically transplant trachea have always ended in disappointment until now.
It's really kind of a holy grail of what we've all been after.
A new medical breakthrough on the next morning edition of NPR News.
Listen tomorrow morning from 5 to
Something
9
like a redstone steampunk
Support for WM
esque
comes
roller
from
coaster
Amtrak.
that'll
When
give
you're
you
ready
a
to
nice
go,
view.
Amtrak is ready to take you. With enhanced cleaning and safety protocols, private rooms, and more than 500 destinations from small towns to big cities across the country. More at Amtrak.com. Geico, offering car insurance as well as services for homeowners and renters insurance through the Geico Insurance Agency. Additional information can be found at geico.com or 1-800-947-AUTO. Virginia Tech. In Metro DC with over 40 graduate programs and 7 locations, including its new innovation campus coming to Alexandria.
Making a planned gift through your will or trust, your retirement plan assets, or through a life insurance policy ensures that your generosity will be a part of WAMU's future.
Just for
Learn more at plannedgiving.wamu.org.
Some stuff down here.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Elsa Chang.
Anamari Shapiro, a member of a prominent Mormon family, is suing the church. James Huntsman, brother of the former Utah governor, alleges that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints misused money he tithed. His lawsuit has opened up a conversation about what it means to give to the church. From member station KUER, Sonia Hudson reports.
Church members are expected to give 10% of their income as tithing. The church says that money goes to further its mission, which includes things like building temples and doing humanitarian work. Huntsman's lawsuit claims the money was also used for commercial projects, including developing a large mall in downtown Salt Lake City. When the project was first announced in 2003, then church president Gordon B. Hinckley said it would not be built with money from tithes.
Funds for this have come and will come from those commercial entities owned by the church. These resources, together with the earnings of invested reserves, will accommodate this program.
But critics argue that all money the church has originally came from the money donated to it.
Alright,
In a
and it
statement,
is
the church
almost
spokesman
night.
called Huntsman's claims baseless and said Huntsman left the church last year. Both the church and Huntsman's attorney declined to be interviewed for this story. However, the controversy has sparked a discussion about how tithing money should be used. The lawsuit is a direct result of a 2019 complaint to the IRS that alleged the church had a $100 billion reserve fund that it used to bail out 2 of its for-profit entities. At the time, the church
Let's
said
go.
it created a rainy day fund as part of wise financial management and followed all tax laws. But that complaint led some members to leave the religion.
This is an organization that worships Christ from the church.
One of them is 45-year-old Jason Arrington. He says he felt betrayed.
To find out that that organization was so focused on financial gain as opposed to alleviating human suffering was pretty much impossible for me to rationalize continuing to make myself aligned with that organization.
But many Latter-day Saints say neither the IRS complaint nor the lawsuit impacted their faith. For 22-year-old Hannah Sirach, tithing is a religious practice, not a donation to charity.
Parts of tithing are used for church giving. The main purpose of tithing seems to be a way to show devotion to God and to symbolize that we're giving everything to the Lord and not necessarily question how the decides if that's going to make that money.
The reactions to the lawsuit exemplify 2 very different beliefs about tithing. That's according to Matthew Bowman, who teaches Mormon history at Claremont Graduate University. He says traditionally, tithing was thought of as a sacrifice, but it's taken on new meaning.
So it's not necessarily necessary to counsel society. Someone who sees this
City. She was in the middle of an episode and she didn't remember which episode it was, and she was just distraught.
Congratulations, you are a child champion.
It was kind of a symbolic gesture of the end of our friendship, but that seemed more upsetting to her that I cut her off from my Netflix than any of the fight we had had before.
My name is Mary McFlame. I live in Auburn, Alabama. I had just found out I was getting divorced. Went through all of the bills, trying to figure out how I'm going to financially manage all of this and being a single mom. And I realized that my parents had given me my Netflix subscription for Christmas that year. And so I went and changed the password and didn't say anything to my ex-husband, with whom I was still sharing a house. But at the time, we had a 5-year-old daughter who really loved Netflix. And he was having a really hard time keeping her entertained without being able to.
Sorry about that inconvenience. I appear to be experiencing some technical difficulties with the audio.
Sharing screen accounts, and I have a good one.
I appear to have fixed it. Okay,
My name's
so
Tom Adjective.
the problem was background noise.
I was dating somebody for about 2 years, and we broke up. It was a very supportive, good breakup, as good as they could be, but still obviously very sad. 2 days in, I got home, and a couple of friends were waiting on me, and one of my buddies said, "Tom, before you got home from work, your ex had her Hulu account on the Roku, and I happened to fast forward through all of her episodes of all the shows she watches. I really like that.
Me too.
And we also took some time to just completely screw up her algorithm by just watching a bunch of random stuff before you got home."
For as long as mankind has fixed his gaze upon the heavens, the age-old question has remained, are we alone in the universe?
In that moment, like a cascade of emotions washed over me. One, gosh, that's really stupid. On the other hand, I was like, that is brilliant. What a ruse. And also, I was kind of touched that my friends cared enough to mess with the streaming service on my behalf.
These interviews were compiled by NPR's Elizabeth Blair. Support for All Tech Considered comes from C3AI. C3AI software enables organizations to use artificial intelligence and enterprise scale, solving previously unsolved problems. C3AI. This is enterprise AI. And from Atlassian, makers of collaboration software like Jira and Trello. 83% of Fortune 500 companies use Atlassian to help teams stay agile, aligned, and connected. Learn more at Atlassian.com.
And you're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Subaru with the 2021 Subaru Forester, featuring standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and safety technology. Love, it's what makes Subaru Subaru. Learn more at Subaru.com. From Fisher Investments, wealth management from dedicated advisors that tailor portfolios to each client's unique goals. More at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. And from iDrive with Remote PC, providing remote access to PCs, Macs, and servers for anyone, assisting those working from home, and
So
also
none of
enabling
this
remote
is gonna be
assistance for
powered.
customers at RemotePC.com.
I already added all the power I'm gonna need.
You're listening to WAMU 88.5.
This will also
Coming
be
next, we've got
somewhat
more All Things Considered
functional
national
because
and
it'll
local
go straight to
headlines
the
coming up in just a couple minutes.
Hi, I'm Esther Chamakeely. Want an inside look at how the reporters, editors, and producers at
Also, it's one
WAMU
way,
cover
just
our
saying.
region? Want to know how our on-air broadcasts and podcasts are made? Join us for Behind the Scenes at WAMU with Kojo Nami. We'll also celebrate Kojo's 23 years on air. That's April 28th at 7 p.m. Visit WAMU.org/events to register.
70 degrees here in Washington. This is
cows.
We're your listener-supported news station from American University in HD at 88.5 at WRAU 88.3 Ocean City, on your smart speaker and online at WAMU.org. We are often the first face of government that our communities will see. The badge that members of the Minneapolis Police Department wear means a lot.
The Minneapolis police chief testifies in the trial of Derek Chauvin, a former officer accused of killing George Floyd.
It is Monday, April 5th, and this is All Things Considered from NPR News.
I'm Ari Shapiro.
And I'm Elsa Chang, coming up how the coronavirus is throwing a wrench into restrictions.
Also, what climate change means for cherry blossoms.
If they don't get the tune, they're not so later because they can't be controlled.
Some rural communities survived the pandemic as people fled cities.
Now, leaders in those areas are trying to make sure the benefits last.
People think that they can telecommute from rural places and they buy property without really investigating what the internet capacity is.
And the challenges of vaccinating.
Let's go. Alright, let's go.
Live from NPR News, I'm Jack Spear. The chief of the Minneapolis Police Department took the stand today in the trial of the former police officer accused in the death of George Floyd.
May have to mind a bit.
Saying today, despite defense claims Floyd died from a combination of a heart condition, drug use, and adrenaline, he felt police use of force in the case was excessive.
When I look at the expression that does not appear in any way, shape, or form that is linked to moderate pressure.
Video showing former police officer Derek Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes as the black man pleaded for his life on international outrage. Chauvin faces murder charges in the case. Prosecutors have maintained the use of force by the officer was excessive. Vice President Kamala Harris made the first visit to her hometown of Oakland since taking office today. Scott Schaefer of member station KQED reports.
Harris came to Oakland to sell the administration's $2 trillion infrastructure plan. At a water treatment plant, Harris noted that she once lived nearby as a young girl. She also emphasized the importance of clean drinking water.
We must understand the equities and inequities of distribution and access to clean water, especially clean drinking water, and address it.
Harris also visited a small women-owned catering company she said had benefited from a small business loan program. For NPR News, I'm Scott Schaefer in Oakland.
A study released today finds 43,000 children in the U.S. have lost a parent due to COVID-19. Researchers with the Traffic Medical Association also find black children are disproportionately affected. Georgia Public Broadcasting's Ellen Eldridge has the story.
While black children make up only 14% of the population, they represent 1/5 of minors who had a parent die of COVID-19. Susan Melange is a counselor in Georgia. She says kids express grief differently, so their loved ones and teachers should watch for changes in personality.
I think that the teachers can be that kind of frontline identifier of this child is experiencing something, I'm seeing different behavior in the classroom. And then the teacher goes to the school counselor, who goes to the school counselor.
Melange says recognizing when children need counseling is crucial for helping them cope with loss. For NPR News, I'm Ellen Eldridge in Atlanta.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is calling for the adoption of a minimum global corporate income tax. Yellen putting forth the idea in an apparent effort to offset any potential disadvantages removed by the Biden administration to raise the corporate income tax in the U.S. Something she called a funding erasure.
Let's go. No, I didn't.
Businesses.
I banned.
You are?
It took me out of the game.
That's must be a connection.
Said forcibly removed by host.
Okay, Jazz, what that means is the computer, what that means is my computer banned you, not me. It was a technical error on my end. It was technical difficulties on my end, sorry. Alright, let's see, there's a problem with the game.
WAMU, I'm Jonathan Wilson. Good evening. 70 degrees in Washington at 7:04. And we'll news the president of the Washington Teachers Union, Liz Davis, has died in a car accident. WAMU's education reporter Debbie Trump has been
Sorry, there's a technical difficulty with the game.
Yeah, Jordan has his.
of the 2006 Toyota in Prince George's
Alright, let me see.
Driving the Toyota,
Let me check the
68-year-old
doc.
man from Annapolis died at the scene. Davis was transported to a hospital where she later
Alright, I gotta go do text split with someone. I'll be right back.
was under investigation. Davis's death stemmed from teachers, elected officials, and Education Act that rewarded Davis for her tireless work ethic and commitment to improving education in the city. Here's Jacqueline Poe Lyons, the General Vice President of the Washington Teachers Union.
No issue was too small for her or too large for her if it involved the teachers of the district or our students.
Phyllis Ford-Berger is a social worker at Woodrow Wilson High School. She says Davis fought hard for educators and encouraged them to advocate for themselves.
She took the time to hear your story, your issues, your views. She made us feel seen.
The union says details about a celebration of Davis's life are forthcoming. For WAMU, I'm Debbie Tron.
Davis was first elected president of the Teachers Union in 2013. DC lawmakers are considering a bill that would allow exceptions to the city's evictions moratorium.
Alright, let's go.
Eviction suits against tenants who present
Alright, let's go.
to their neighbors, household members, and buildings.
Yeah.
Under the current ban, which is in effect through at least July 20th, landlords in the city can't evict anyone who
What?
Try to put me into that server, that doesn't work.
Seriously?
Yeah, you clicked on that server.
Wait, seriously? Wow.
You have diamonds? You're so lucky, I wish I had.
Tuesday, Thursday, partly sunny.
How did you find diamonds?
That's WAMU 80.
I mined them. I mined and mined and mined.
Do you need some gold? I have some gold.
I'm fine.
Okay, but you said you needed rails.
Rails need iron. Powered rails need gold.
Well, I have a lot of iron if you want some.
You do?
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah.
Hi.
I'll definitely take some iron. Seriously, I thought we weren't doing trades.
I was joking, Jordan. But I mean, we could do something.
Alright,
We have no villagers.
okay, you want to do a trade? Sure, I'll give you some redstone for some iron.
Redstone for iron.
Yeah. I'll give you like a stack of I'll give you like 5 stacks of redstone for a stack of iron.
I don't need that much redstone.
How much do you need? I got it.
I don't need redstone.
What do you need? Lava's better at smelting than coal. Do you need lava?
I need another portal.
Okay. Alright. Alright guys, let me finish mining, then I'm going to go ahead and grab that nether portal for Jazz.
Thank you, because I really... Oh, and so you know, I only have 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Is that still good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We are having tamales for dinner. They will be ready in 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I'll go to my...
Let's go.
I'll go to my computer.
Is it an either or alternatives? Either de-escalate or use force. Once you start using force, you just give up on de-escalation. The goal is to resolve the situation as safely as possible. So you want to always have de-escalation layered into those actions with using force.
You know, it's so unusual for the chief of police to testify against an employee, even a former one.
emergency medical response, emergency medical treatment. All of these policies are, by their very language, are situational dependent, right? They all say if the circumstances allow, if time permits, if it's safe. They have a qualifier to it. Yes,
And so Nelson's argument is that Derek Chauvin was involved in a changing situation and was just following protocol.
That's NPR's Cheryl Corley in Minneapolis. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The pandemic has forced unexpected parts of rural
Okay.
America that have been struggling for years. Suddenly, people are
You still want my eyes, right?
quieter,
Yeah.
smaller towns.
I only have like 5.
They can work from basically anywhere.
I have like
Now, world leaders are trying to figure out how this Zoom
9.
moment could bring
I have like, let me check this. How many eyes do I have?
Seriously, you getting it from a fortune teller?
I have 29 iron, and that is correct.
No. Now I'm not gonna do it.
Jordan, I'm joking. I don't have 49 iron. I only have 2.
Okay.
You're probably wondering, Jasmine, why do you need a...
Alright, Jazz, can you please just, like, go downstairs?
after you eat because your hunger bar is low.
Alright, Jazz, can you go? Alright, okay.
Okay, now.
Right. Yeah. I have like a few. I have 6.
Can I have 3 of them?
Sure.
For free?
Yeah.
Yay. And I might also ask to borrow some lapis.
Okay.
Idaho's Governor Brad Little started thinking big after visiting Orofino promoting broadband expansion. Speaking at the virtual Idaho Press Club, Little suggested that one fix for the housing crisis in cities is to encourage more Americans to move out to small towns like Orofino.
As we work on our quest for more broadband and better roads, that means that growth will be dispersed out into areas, particular areas that have been dislocation and lost major employment.
Just a few years ago, Orofino lost 2 timber mills.
Alright, got some iron. Let's go ahead and make them start.
Manufacturers touting a world-class trout fishing Colorado River. It's paid off during the pandemic, maybe too much.
Oh gosh, it's been crazy here. We've seen more different kinds of license plates in Clearwater County over the last year than in the last 31 years of living here.
Chris St. Germain runs Clearwater County's one-person economic development office. She says there are now bidding wars for homes, and locals are getting priced out.
We're an aging but great community, and the influx of younger families and younger people is something we should all celebrate.
But she says in order for the governor's idea to work, towns like this will also have to offer more amenities and services so newcomers stay and spend their money locally. St. Germain works exhaustively to get federal money to expand broadband, and it can still be a battle to get online when you're just outside of town, which is where most people want to move.
People think that they can telecommute from rural places, and they buy property without really investigating what the internet capacity is at that place, and then they come to me and say, is there a space in town I can rent from? Can I use your connectivity for this very important meeting?
A recent federal grant expanded fiber several miles up the canyon from Orofino toward Matthew Store's place, actually almost to his driveway. Then the money ran out.
And then there's our phone box that it would connect to. 50 feet.
So Store still uses satellite internet, which is spotty, but it's a trade-off, though he's not sure everyone is as committed to staying in rural America as he is.
Everybody's leaving because, oh my gosh, it was horrible with the pandemic and the cities and everything. And then they're going to move out here. And then they're going to say, well, this isn't, I can't go down the street to Trader Joe's, or I can't, there's no Starbucks in our town.
Store has considered buying some real estate down in town to help the local economy grow. Boosters see opportunity for a craft brewery, a new bistro, to keep newcomers years here after the pandemic ends. Kirk Singler, NPR News, Orofino, Idaho.
Canopies of pink and white flowers are blanketing Washington, D.C. right now after the city's cherry trees hit full bloom last week. D.C.'s first cherry trees were a gift from Japan, and in the city of Kyoto, the cherry trees bloomed even earlier. In fact, Kyoto's peak bloom was the earliest on record for 1,200 years, following a pattern of earlier and earlier blooms since the 1800s.
When a cherry tree blossoms can reflect climate change. A pattern of early blooms can indicate warming springtime temperatures, but it's complicated.
The impact from climate change is indisputable, I think. However, the decisive factor for the cherry blossoms is the winter temperature.
Naoko Abe is a journalist and author of The Sakura Obsession. She says cherry trees need a full month of cold temperatures in order to properly blossom when it gets warmer.
If they don't get the chilly weather for a month, then they blossom later because they can't
So while early blooms caused by warm springs are troubling, delayed blooms may also be the result of warming winters, and the south of Japan has already seen delayed blooms in recent years.
Alright, let's go. Alright, let's go ahead and grab some cobble.
As winter temperatures continue to rise, Abe says
Yeah, pretty much just need some more building mats, you know? More build mats. Boom. Boom.
Fuchsias are easy to propagate. They begin blossoming after only 5 years, and they gained popularity in Japan in the 19th century, while other tourist species were forgotten, went extinct.
This variety was planted en masse, like 1,000 trees or 2,000 trees per time, all over Japan, and eventually they took over the old varieties.
But Yoshinos are very susceptible to temperature change and to disease, and having one dominant variety magnifies those impacts.
We have to prevent that. We can prevent that. We have to start thinking differently and start thinking that Yoshino cherries are not the only cherries.
Abe says that if we don't start diversifying our cherry tree varieties, in a century, we might not have cherry blossoms at any time of year.
Right.
The U.S. economy added more than 900,000 jobs last month, but unemployment gains haven't been the same for all groups of people. The chief economist for President Biden's Department of Labor explains tomorrow on Morning Edition. Just ask your smart speaker to play NPR or your local station by name. And you're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
We're live, we're local, and we're Washington's NPR news station, WAMU 88.5. Good evening. Coming up just after the break on All Things Considered, the pandemic has impacted the foster care system and kept children separated from their parents for longer. Mother Jones reporter who's been following this story joins NPR's Elsa Chang to explain more of that conversation coming up in just a couple of minutes here on WAMU.
Yes, you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney if you're accused of a crime, but not a free attorney.
I probably owe you $20,000 and courthouse and fines on my incarceration issue.
On the next Planet Money, the rise of hidden court fees. And on How I Built This, how Lisa Baird steered the Women's National Soccer League through the pandemic. That's coming up on Planet Money and How I Built This from NPR.
Listen tonight from 10 to 11 on WAMU 88.5.
Are vaccine passports a good idea? Someone should buy it hard.
This is literally the end of human liberty in the West.
Experts say we'll soon be able to download passports.
Yeah.
Vaccinated or recently tested negative for COVID-19. But where some see value and convenience, others see the hand of big tech and government. We'll discuss next time on 1A. Listen tomorrow from 10 to noon on WAMU 88.5 or online at the1a.org.
Support for WAMU comes from Nova Transit. Public transit gets you where you need to go, even in unprecedented times. You can count on Northern Virginia's trains and buses for your
to support digestive health, containing a probiotic strain developed by gastroenterologists with 20 years of research. More at alignprobiotics.com. And from C3AI. C3AI software enables organizations to use artificial intelligence at enterprise scale, solving previously unsolvable problems. C3AI. This is enterprise AI.
So what this is designed to do is, in effect, efficiently use pallet rails, basically.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is all right.
Time with their children, they're ready for more independence. But the pandemic took those visits virtual, and in a lot of places, parents and kids went months without seeing each other in person. So that's obviously incredibly challenging for moving their cases forward, but also just in the moment it's incredibly challenging for the families.
Yeah. And the less they're able to bond, the less chance there is of reunification, right?
Exactly. So it's a process that really feeds on itself.
Is there a particular story that has stayed with you that you want to share about a family or a child that has just been on your mind since you've done this reporting?
Yeah, so over the course of several months, I was in touch with Stevie, who's a mom in Baltimore. And, you know, in a typical because of the slowdowns to the system, Stevie didn't see her kids in person for 4 months. She didn't start getting regular visits with them for 6 or 7 months. And Stevie and her son had just been born, and so she just didn't get that critical period of infancy with him. She felt like she didn't know him and he didn't know her. That family, happily now, has since been reunited. Stevie and her husband don't get help. They have been off of drugs for a while now. And that family, like many now, is going to sort of have to see what the effect of this pandemic and that prolonged separation is going to mean to
Yeah,
them.
pretty much. This is just what you use all those resources for in vanilla Minecraft. You usually, but like modded, you'd use for other stuff. You know. Vanilla is for this stuff.
In Lebanon, NPR's Ruth Sherlock reports it has to do with the country's sectarian divisions and rivalries.
Right.
Lebanon's OTV television channel found a strange piece in the main newscast. On the screen, a man kneels as if he's about to propose. He opens a ring box, and there, cushioned around the velvet, is footage which comes with audible laughter. It's a comedy sketch from the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. But Lebanon's OTV presented it as serious news. It claimed this was a real pharmaceutical ad campaign in the United States. Gilbert Haddad, a senior representative of OTV, told NPR this was a genuine mistake. One of its producers thought this absurd portrayal was actually how the vaccine was being promoted in the US. But the channel has also hosted anti-vaxxers and shared common unfounded conspiracy theories, like the idea that the coronavirus is caused by 5G.
1G, 2G, 3G, 4G.
OTV is owned by the son-in-law of Lebanon's president, and its viewers tend to be supporters of the president's Free Patriotic Movement, a right-wing Christian party with nativist views.
The fact that it believes it's a minority, that it is under
Alright, so pretty much what this'll do is so when I'm done, it'll basically just be this giant railway to nowhere. To pretty much over there. Just be a giant railway to nowhere. Railway to nowhere. Yeah, pretty much it's just a railway to nowhere. So yeah, pretty much what I'm going to make now. So what I need to do is I need to make some iron. I need to mine some iron. Legit. Mine.
Politicians have used their media platforms to try to counter vaccine misinformation. Even OTV's Haddad says the channel will no longer allow inaccurate information about the virus on its air. But Nasser Hussein, a professor of policy studies at the American University of Beirut, says misinformation will continue to be a feature of Lebanese society that politicians will promote to strengthen their sectarian support.
That's about how politics are played in Lebanon mostly for the sake of being annoying. I mean, it's not about for the sake of being representing the community.
Lebanon has a lot of problems right now. There's an economic collapse, corruption, and government paralysis. Yassine says conspiracy theories can be a useful tool for politicians to distract the people from their own failures. Ruth Sherlock, NPR News, Beirut.
Hey, Jordan.
Yeah.
Question. Head all the way back.
Why?
I need to see if you went into my cave.
Right now I'm mining.
This is WAMU 8085. I'm Jonathan Wilson. Reminder, later tonight at 9 o'clock, it's on Deployed. The trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin enters its second week. On One, we'll talk about what's unfolded thus far in the courtroom and how Minneapolis and the black community are responding. That's tonight at 9 here on WAMU.
Yeah, pretty much you just need a ton of iron. A ton.
Non-invasive and FDA-cleared treatments when drugs and talk therapy do not resolve symptoms.
Yeah, so like
If your spring cleaning this year includes the garage,
pretty much.
your unwanted vehicle can be donated to support WAMU. It's an easy process, and you can learn more about vehicle donations
Yeah, pretty much I just need to go ahead and grab some stuff specifically. Alright, so I just need to grab the, let's see. Yes.
You were at 2 minutes. Please hit
Okay, I got it.
Otherwise, it will be a hard determination.
Okay. Alright, so, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to end the stream in 2 minutes, so, you know.
To agree to a global minimum corporate tax rate that can stop the waste of money.
It's not clear that corporate tax
needed for corporate
tax revenues in the U.S. are already the lowest among big industrial countries, thanks to a variety of
Alright, so I'm going to have to cut off the stream, so bye guys.